I'm now in the coastal city of Kusadasi. I was here last night. Yeah, it's quite a nice little coastal town, to be honest. Lots of English, I think, living here. There's a bar just over there called the Surprise Bar, and that was full of English, and they do English breakfasts and fish and chips. Today I'm just going to have a wander around the town and see what Kusadasi's got to offer. But you can tell that you're in a resort because a lot of the menus on the cafes are in both Turkish and English. I certainly like the sculptures in Kusadasi. All along the front, there's tons of sculptures. I was informed yesterday that the first flights from England into Bodrum arrived yesterday. So all these resort towns are going to start getting a bit busier. And the temperature's going up. I think we're about 17, 18 today, and in a couple of days it'll be 23. So the season is almost upon us. Up on the hill you can see the Hollywood style Kusadasi sign, and above that there's a monument to, I'm presuming it'll be Ataturk. It's very colourful down here. You can smell the fish. Ah, this will be why. Fish market. Well, like Izmir, part of the city is built on this huge hill. And unlike Izmir, it doesn't appear to have an elevator. Now, luckily, I don't need to go all the way to the top. I just had to climb about a quarter of the way up and then back down again to come and look at something called the historic walls of Kusadasi. I think this might be it just here. If so, probably wasn't worth coming to look at, to be honest. Yep, it's the historic city walls of Kusadasi. And now you've seen this, you don't have to bother. Although the views are pretty good, to be honest. Is that Greece over there? I think that might be Greece. Well, I got to a dead end. Like Google Maps tells me I can't walk across here, but the gate was locked. So I just asked the woman. She went and got the security guy, and he's just come and let me pass through. Very nice. I don't know if I can get out. Ah, perfect. Now will this set me down? It appears so. Well, that saved me a 15-minute round trek. Well, this is the castle that I think is called, well, the actual island is called Pigeon Island, I think. And it's a museum now, and I've just read that it's free to get in. So let's go and give it a go. 30 lira for a 1 hour boat trip. It's not bad. Just down the left hand side as you approach the castle, it has pictures of Kusadasi from over the years, and it confirmed that this place is actually known as Pigeon Island. It appears to be free entry. No one's asked me for any money. The outer walls were built later than the fortress inside. The inscription there says the outer walls were built in 1826. This island is where Kusadasi took its name, and it was only actually connected to the mainland by a road in the 1960s. And this is the fortress, which was built in the 16th century. I have a decision to make now. Once I get to the end of here, I can either turn right and head down towards the beaches, or turn left and go and explore the old town. I have got lots of things to do up there, which is took me about an hour and a half to get to the furthest one. So there's a lot to do, and that way is about an hour. I think this is going to be more interesting to me. I'm not particularly that interested in beaches. The old town sounds much more appealing, so I think I'm going to head back towards the old town and have a little exploration around there. Okay, so we're just approaching the old town now, and our first stop is this Ottoman era castle, Kervansaray. Not sure what's in there now. I was expecting it to be filled with coffee shops and restaurants, to be honest. I'm not sure what it's actually been used for. So our first stop in the old town is this old art gallery, which used to be a girls' school apparently. Now it's only just the one room, it's free to get in. It's quite nice in there, to be honest. It's worth checking out for 5 minutes. Walking away from the art gallery now, and this is going to take me into the Old Town Bazaar. The whole of the old town used to be contained within the old castle walls. It's unlike other bazaars in that the streets are actually quite wide. There's lots of bars in the bazaar. I imagine during the summer that this place is very busy. Right in the centre of the bazaar is the mosque. I am at the point now where I don't even bother going in. It's like when you're in Thailand when you first get there and you pass some temple and you have to go in every one, and then after a few days it's like, oh yeah, it's just another temple. Right, so appear to be on what looks like some kind of high street. Well, this is something that I wasn't aware of. Kusadasi Bar Street. Well, they're all closed now, obviously, because it's early, but let's have a look what we got. Jimmy's Irish Bar. Kitty O'Shea Irish Bar. Paddy's Irish Bar. A lot of Irish bars. It's actually bigger than I expected, Kusadasi. These shopping streets just go on forever. And the old tanneries. Now being converted into apartments, I think, and restaurants. Bet a lot of these are owned by foreigners who've come to spend their retirement on the coast. Can't blame them. Who'd want to stay in England? Bloody hell. Because there are so many British people living here, on the menus in the cafe restaurants on the seafront, you'll see fish and chips, English breakfast. I just had a look at one and the English breakfast was about £12–13. Right, there doesn't appear to be much of interest up here, so I'm going to head down here. I think this will take me back down to the seafront. And just here, Hong Kong, Chinese and Indian. Always a bit sceptical when you see restaurants doing both. There's actually much less Turkish food here than in other places I've visited, where on every street you'll find kebab shop after kebab shop. A bit less here. It's definitely aimed more towards tourists. The bar near me, it's not called Surprise Bar, it's called Special Bar. And I walked past last night and I noticed all people sat outside. Could tell they were English. Spot them a mile off. It wasn't just the English accent and the English language that gave them away. It was the amount of swearing. Bloody hell. Every other word was as F. And that was the women. And I walked past and saw that they did fish and chips and English breakfast. And you know, I bet it's cheap in there. They've just onto one, aren't they? They know they've got all the English in the area, so they just cheap beer. They've got a dartboard in there. They have bingo nights. I think they might have karaoke nights as well. So all the locals will just flock there, get drunk cheaply. So I might go and check that out in a bit. Go and sit with the English immigrants. I've come across a HSBC bank, which I think is English, isn't it? So let's see if HSBC are going to charge me to draw my own money out. Doesn't sound like they are. Perfect. Well, it's my last day in Pamukkale, and I've come to this place that I've walked past many times and never come in, for full English breakfast for 65 lira. On the front it's 200 and odd, and apparently it's bacon, egg, sausage, beans, mushrooms, tomatoes, jam, butter, toasted bread and tea or coffee for 65 lira. So I'm looking forward to this. Just outside there appears to be some kind of farmer's market, so I'll take a walk up there after I've had this. And here it is then. Full English breakfast. Look at that. That looks wonderful. Proper bacon, tomatoes, beans, mushrooms, sausage, some fried bread there, tomatoes, lovely egg, some bread and a tea. 65 lira. Cracking English breakfast at this place called Special. Highly recommended. They do fish and chips, curries, Chinese food and everything. Let's have a look through this market then. So it appears to be like a farmer's market. All vegetables and breads and olives and cheeses, all very fresh. I can see why English people might want to come and live here, especially during their retirement years. It's a nice place. There's beaches just a few minutes away by the Dolmus. Oh, it's right on cue. There's one now. These things just run to the beaches up and down the coast, and their money's worth a lot more here than what it is back in England. I just paid like what, 65, so that's about £3.25 for that breakfast, which you can get breakfast like that in England, in markets and stuff like that for that price. But bear in mind, all this stuff has been imported, so that's actually quite expensive. 65 lira would buy you 4 kebabs. I'm not sure whether the part of Kusadasi that I'm staying in is actually the main tourist part, because there's no real beaches where I am, but there's beaches further north and there's Ladies Beach and Long Beach further south. So I think I'm going to try and get to Long Beach and have a look what it's like around there. Now I've just seen a Dolmus drop someone off here, so I'm presuming that if I hang around for a few minutes there'll be another one. I don't know how often these buses are. I don't think I'll have to wait too long. I'd have thought they'd be running quite regular up and down the coast. And there's not actually a bus stop here, so I don't know whether it'll pick up. I'm presuming it will. Just over there is the Hand coffee shop, which I went and had a coffee in yesterday. It was very good as well, and very dog friendly. There's about 4 dogs that just sit around in the coffee shop. It's really cool. This one says Ladies Beach on it. Is he stopping? Yes, he is. Hi, Ladies Beach? Yes. Yeah. 5 Turkish lira for the bus to Ladies Beach. Oh, I don't think I've actually touched the Aegean Sea yet. Oh, there we go. And here we are then, Ladies Beach. Doesn't look like there's a great deal going on down here, to be honest, apart from a beach and a few restaurants and cafes and markets. I can't be arsed with this, I'm going to get back up on the path. Well, it does seem very touristy down here, and that's probably why a lot of it's still closed, because we're not quite in the season yet. It is all kind of bars and restaurants on the front. Not a great deal to do down here. Even the aqua park is closed. Not actually worth coming down here, to be honest. It's all a bit dead. I spent about 10 minutes in Ladies Beach and then spotted the Dolmus that's brought me back to the main part of Kusadasi. It's very funny because when I was on the bus, a woman was running to get to the bus and she just missed it, and you could see her at the side of the road and she was devastated. And the driver spotted her, so he pulled up and waited for her, and she got on and she was speaking English, but you could tell that she was like, oh thank you, oh so much, thank you, thank you, thank you. The bus is like every 5 minutes. And then later on in the journey, some old Turkish babushka got on the bus, nowhere for her to sit. Only me offered to give my seat up. She looked dead surprised as well. I don't think that's a thing in Turkey. No one else offered. So basically there's nothing else to do now. I've done everything there is in this city. I do need to buy some shorts, some swimming shorts, because tomorrow I head to Pamukkale, and I will be, I imagine, hopefully, swimming in thermal baths. I'm not going to do that in these trousers. So I guess the rest of the day is going to be looking for cheap shorts. How much can I get some shorts for? 50, 40, 30, 20? Well, that's it for my time in Pamukkale, or Pamukkale. And now, I think this is my bus, which is going to take me to Pamukkale, which apparently is one of the most touristy places in Turkey. I'm starting to feel more like a tourist and less like a traveller now, but here we go, this is my bus, so catch you in Pamukkale.